What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? So welcome to the very first edition of MLB Hot Takes, where you leave me a hot take and I give my thoughts on it. Let's go talk about them. Okay, so the first hot take from Bob Cashman: Shohei Ohtani wins the MVP, and he says the Red Sox have the best record. Let's go take a look at Shohei Ohtani. This guy is having a heck of a year. He's probably been, at least in my opinion, the most fun player to watch this year. What a season he's having. Hitting .266, 328 on base, a .616 slugging. That's awesome. 15 home runs on the year. He's got a WRC plus of 157. That's really good, but he's also been pitching as well. I mean, what a year on the mound he's been having. Let's take a look at the numbers so far through 6 starts. Over 13 strikeouts per 9. The walks are a little high, but only an ERA of 2.37 and FIP of 3.81. These are really good numbers. If we go take a look right now at Ohtani on the leaderboards, as of right now, we can see Ohtani is 24th in wins above replacement on Fangraphs. You know, I did pick Shohei Ohtani to win the MVP this year. I still think it's possible because you have to also factor in what he's doing on the mound as well. And again, if I go back here to Shohei Ohtani, so if he has a 1.7 wins above replacement with his offense, with the pitching, he has 0.5. So he's at 2.2 right now on Fangraphs. If I take a look at the leaderboards one more time on Fangraphs, so far leading in wins above replacement is Vlad Jr. with a 3.2. So if you combine the pitching with Ohtani, the 1.7 and the 0.5, he's, you know, a full wins above replacement behind Vlad Jr. I know it doesn't just come down to wins above replacement, but I mean, I think Ohtani still has a chance at this thing. I really think a lot of it depends on if the Angels can get back into the race. I mean, I know Mike Trout's won it before, you know, with his Angels pretty much out of it. But Ohtani, I definitely think by the end of the season could have a good case. I think he's going to get some votes. Do I think he is going to win the MVP? I would say as of right now, probably not. But hey, that could definitely change. So the next hot take from M. Thompson: Tatis Jr. should be a DH instead of a position player. I'm going to have to disagree with this one. Yes, Fernando Tatis Jr., he's never been the most sure thing in the field. If we take a look at the numbers right now, he's got a negative 3.2 defensive runs above average in the field. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done at a prime position at shortstop. That needs to improve. But if we take a look at last year in 2020, over the 59 games, he showed that he could play defense. He had a 3.1 defensive runs above average last year. And if we take a look at the advanced stats as well, again, -5 defensive runs saved this year. He has not been doing good out there. A -4.6 UZR. Whenever I think of defense at shortstop, a guy that really comes to mind when it comes to someone that is so talented offensively but struggles a little bit on the defensive side of things is Xander Bogaerts. Xander Bogaerts has never really been the most prime defensive player out there at shortstop, but he's improved at least a little bit every single year. Xander Bogaerts is playing some decent defense this year. I think Fernando Tatis Jr., this guy has a very, very long career ahead of him. He's only 22 years old. Give him some time. He definitely needs to be out there playing shortstop. The guy is just too talented. So I'm going to have to disagree with that one. The next hot take coming from Awesome 7178. Nick Pivetta wins Comeback Player of the Year. I think this one is very possible. If we take a look at Nick Pivetta, this year he is having a really good season for my Red Sox. 6-0 on the year, a 3.86 ERA through 10 starts, 59 strikeouts through 53 2/3 innings, whip of 1.26. I think this is very possible because if you take a look at the numbers that he had in 2020, overall, through 5 games, 2 starts, he had a 6.89 ERA. I mean, with the Phillies, he was just awful. If you take a look at 2019, in 13 games, had a 5.38 ERA. The guy has just really not been good over the last couple of years. But this year, it seems that he has really figured things out. Again, he's undefeated on the year. He's already beaten Jacob deGrom in 1 start this year. Has a 3.40 FIP, so those numbers are supporting him as well. Good strikeouts. He is walking a few guys. But I definitely think Nick Pivetta, he's going to have some competition, with someone like a Trey Mancini is there as well, there in the American League as well. But I think Nick Pivetta will have a good case for comeback player of the year. He's having a great season so far. So I definitely agree with that hot take. The next hot take from Brendan, he says the Pirates trade Adam Frazier, Tyler Anderson, Trevor Cahill, and Richard Rodriguez and still finish at 500. I'm probably going to have to disagree with this one. The Pirates did get off to a pretty decent start this year, but if we take a look at the Pirates right now, 18-31 on the year, I just think the Pirates, like I said, they got off to a decent start at one point. I believe they were a 500 team through, I think, the first 20 games or something like that, but they've really fallen off here, 1-9 in their last 10 games. I'm going to have to disagree with this one. It would be a cool story to see the Pirates with really not a lot of talent on that major league team. It would be really cool to see them finish as a 500 team, but I think there's just not going to be enough there. Definitely the future of the Pirates, though, is looking bright. Very excited to see what they do with that number 1 pick in the draft coming up. The next hot take from Savage Gamer 34, Mariners win the pennant. This is a fun one. Now, I don't know if I can agree with this one. This one is a bit of a tough stretch. If we take a look at the Mariners lineup right now, it's not bad. They have a couple of good pieces. Jared Kelenic, he's come up. He's gotten off to a bit of a tough start in his major league debut. But what else would you expect? It's a rookie, tons of potential there. But he's only hitting 145 so far. The 203 on base, the 291 slugging, does have a couple of home runs. But Jared Kelenic, as of right now, he's not getting it done. So he's definitely going to have to improve there. Logan Gilbert just came up recently. The ERA is a little high, 7.59 ERA. The FIP is telling a better story, though, of 4.34. Decent amount of strikeouts per 9 right now. The walks he's keeping down, keeping the home runs down. So Logan Gilbert, I don't know. It's going to take him a little time to get adjusted to the major league level. But if we take a look right now at the Mariners, they're 5.5 out in the West. I don't know. You got a tough Oakland team. This Houston team is still really legit. Look at that run differential for Houston, plus 55. Really good. For the Mariners, though, if you take a look at the wild card as well, right now the Mariners, they're 5.5 out in the wild card. So if they're gonna want to win the pennant, they're gonna have to make the playoffs. So the fact is, are they gonna be able to even make the playoffs? It's gonna be tough. I don't think the Mariners are quite there yet. Mariners winning the pennant, I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. But hey, we've seen crazier things happen before. Could we see the Mariners shock the world and win the pennant? The next hot take from Wide Neck, Julio Urias for Cy Young. I don't think this is too out of the question. As of right now, in the National League, let me actually click National League here. In the National League, as of right now in all of Major League Baseball, he ranks 14th in wins above replacement among starting pitchers. But in the National League, he ranks 9th, a 1.7 WAR. You got some really good competition ahead of you for this award, though. Jacob deGrom, Zach Wheeler, Woodruff, even Kevin Gausman's having himself a good year. Darvish, Kershaw. You got some names here. This is some beef. So Julio Urias, he is really... he's going to have to go on some kind of a run here. He has a good record overall. I think probably the most underrated starter in this Dodgers rotation. You hear about Clayton Kershaw and Trevor Bauer all the time, but Julio Urias is quietly having himself a really good year. 10 strikeouts per 9. He's only walking 1 per 9. That's really good. He's only giving up 1 home run per 9. That's really good. Look at the numbers. A 3.03 ERA. Even the FIP is painting a better picture for him. I think Julio Urias, if he can go on a run, kind of like that Garrett Cole kind of a run back in 2019, I think Urias might have a chance at this thing. But as of right now, he's got some talent in front of him. These are some big names. But the fact that he's putting himself in the conversation here with these kind of names, I think that's a good thing. Julio Urias for Cy Young, I'll probably have to disagree with it right now just because of the names that are in front of him stat-wise. But hey, if he goes on a run, anything can happen. Why not? And my last hot take is from Edmund19. Brewers finish 4th in the National League Central. Man, I might have to disagree with this one. I don't know. I like this Brewers team. I think they got off to a good start. Lately, they've been kind of floating around. They were struggling a little bit. They've been playing some 500 ball in their last 10 games. I think it's possible, but I don't know. As of right now, I'm going to have to disagree with this. Maybe I'm a little biased towards this Brewers team. I like this Brewers team. I love the starting pitching that they have. I would imagine with the starting pitching that they have with Brandon Woodruff and Corbin Burns, it is so hard for me to imagine this Brewers team finishing in 4th. I'm not going to say it's impossible, though. This Cubs team, they're playing above expectations. A lot of people thought this Cubs team were going to take a step back, but this Cubs team has actually been stepping it up as of late. Only a half game back in the Central. This Reds team, they have a really good offense. They still have some talent in that starting pitching staff. I mean, Luis Castillo is having a down year, but he could turn it around at any point. The Brewers definitely could finish fourth, but man, right now, I'm not going to buy into it as of right now. It's definitely possible. The Reds are only 2 games back behind them right now for fourth, so we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with the Brewers. As of right now, though, I'm going to say no on that one. But hey, that could just be some bias. I picked the Brewers to win the Central this year, so maybe I'm just not ready to throw in the towel just yet. It's definitely possible. But no, I'm not gonna agree with that right now. No. So those are the hot takes for this week. Stay tuned for next time for the next episode of Hot Takes. Make sure to be on the lookout for a post in the community tab where I'm going to simply just tell you, give me your hot take for this week, and then we'll do this again next time. Thank you for joining, and I'll talk to you next time.